Dun-dun-dun-dun. Gonna hit the intro.
Thanks for tuning into the Carrie Hunter podcast. Here's your hosts, Bryce and Kevin.
Kevin, stop. What? God damn it.
What?
Welcome back to the Carrie Handle podcast
Oh,
with
I'm
your
sorry.
hosts.
Oh, you don't want me to do this?
What? Nobody.
That?
I hope that all cuts out when I edit this. I'm
God,
gonna
I hope
make you
not.
look like a clown, an absolute goofball.
You can't make me look any more like a clown than I already do myself.
What? But wow, that was kind of deep and sad. all at the same
Philosophical.
time.
Philosophical, even.
Philosophical.
Who do
Well,
we have today, Bryce?
it throws it to me. We have Dave of D.Wilson, the magician with the guns. How are you, sir?
Oh, hanging in there, just finishing up the day. Um, Doing just fine. Cruising into
Excellent.
Thanksgiving week
Awesome.
here, so hopefully we're not too busy. We can enjoy the holiday.
Yeah. Well, so for the people that do not know, the five people that may not know, can give us an intro and who you are and what you do.
That is a good question. So I'm Dave. I own D.Wilson Manufacturing. I've been doing this in some capacity for about 16 years, coming up on 17 years. I started this business in my college dorm room. Uh, Kind of a mostly self-taught machinist. I figured if I was making cool gun stuff for myself, I might as well make it for other people. I worked in corporate America for quite a while for a DoD manufacturer as an engineer and a project manager. And then about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I decided to quit my job and do this full time. Now we've grown to the point I have 6 guys working in the shop, so we're staying busy. We're doing a lot of stuff. So that's about it.
That's awesome.
Awesome. So, well, thank you so much for making the time and having our stars align to make this happen. It's excellent to have you on.
Absolutely.
So, in terms of my first exposure, I think was probably on Instagram, and then eventually I know you were doing like YouTube videos for a little bit, kind of off and on. They were like
Yeah,
skunk work videos.
we did a few. Sadly I haven't had as much time as I want to do more. But there's been some interesting things. I was actually thinking just today about another one I want to do. So I've started dabbling in making barrels, and there's one I want to make for myself. So I figured I'm gonna maybe do a little YouTube video on it and show people some of the things we're working on lately.
Oh, that's super
Interesting.
cool. I like the look behind the scene. I also like the I don't know,
How
the
it's
skunk,
made.
like the what? Yeah, the how it's made. I like that, and I like the small batch kind of like. For people that may not know, I consider you very highly with like the LMT and the Knights Armament and kind of a lot of the custom, kind of more niche stuff you can do to ARs. But I mean, you work magic. Do you guys currently do stuff with AKs, or is that more on the back burner?
Mm.
Did at one time. We're not really doing much anymore these days. One of my longtime employees is a big AK guy. So we started doing some AK stuff at one point, and then it kind of fell by the wayside because I feel like um, didn't really fit into our business model well.
Mhm.
So we take, I would say our scope of services is fairly small, and it's things we've become very efficient at, so we can do it economically for the customer. And I don't know that AKs always fit
Mm.
into that. It seems like
Yeah, that's fair.
uh, the time it takes to do something can vary quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's one thing it's hard to quote, and you don't know if you're ever gonna come out ahead or come out behind on a project when you go into it. So kind of don't do much AK stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I
I
know.
like that. I like that you keep it like concise and just what you know and keep it to what know, and you can do it, relatively you know, a relative price, I guess, would be.
Yeah, and so my engineering background is actually in process engineering. So I feel like if you have very predictable inputs, you can have very predictable outputs.
Yep.
So I think with ARs, it kind of lends itself to some efficiencies in that. If you're chopping and threading barrels, AK or excuse me, AR barrels are typically cylindrical. So we figured out a way to do it pretty economically. So we pass those savings on to the customer because I don't know. I feel like things like that should be accessible, and you shouldn't have to pay an arm and a leg to get quality work.
Mhm. Yeah, well, I mean, so in terms of, like, you also have, like, you work on LMTs, but you also have a service where you can do a conversion to the the 3.1, like, rail adapters and
Oh
stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. We
So,
we just did a couple of those today.
what started who thought that up? Because that, I think, is the coolest thing ever.
So funny enough, it was actually an LMT employee that I
Okay.
kind of became friends with over the years, and he's like, "Dave, I have this idea. Do you think we could do it?" It's like, "Sure. I mean, let's try it. It seems plausible. Seems like you've done your homework, so I'm willing to give it a try." And it was funny. Years later, I think I was at Shot Show, and I saw that very first gun we did the URX cut in one company's like product brochure. I was like, "Oh, hey, that's pretty sweet." Like something I did made it into this. The gentleman moved on to another company after LMT. But it was cool to see, just flipping through their brochure at SHOT Show, like, "Oh, hey, that's pretty cool. That was the very first URX cut we ever did."
That's super cool. So,
that's
I'm
that's funny. You're like,
I
hey,
mean,
you know anything
past
about this?
artistic, I mean, how much are you sacrificing in terms of rigidity for the rail?
Well, I mean, you're really only cutting off the tops of the Picatinny slots
Yeah.
and making it smooth. And then there's a little bit of work you do to clean up the edges and stuff like that. So I would say it's not really affecting the rigidity of the rail at all.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
That's interesting. Well, so,
Yeah.
I mean, how much weight are you actually have you guys weighed the difference between the 2? Because I mean, it's gotta be chunky.
I would have to imagine I don't know that I'm sure at one point we have weighed one. I don't know a number off the top of my head, but if I had to guess, maybe 2 ounces.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I
But,
have
you're
a
taking off 2 ounces worth of aluminum, putting back on maybe an ounce worth of plastic when you put the
also
handguards
too.
back or the rail panels back on. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
eh, rail panels, some steel screws, probably come out about the same.
Just net zero.
Net absolutely zip bubkiss. Well, I was thinking about doing it to my MWS because
You
those
should.
things are so
Un-
fucking
Chunky.
heavy.
ungodly heavy.
They
It
are chunky.
it's unpleasant. It's an 18-inch with the rifle length gas system, and I'm just
Okay.
it's a bit of a mission schlepping that
Well,
thing
so
around.
have you considered going with, like, one of their lightweight contour barrels?
I I have, but then the price tag makes me cry a little bit,
A little
because
bit.
it's my so I was like, "Man, I could try to get, you know, in better shape," but I'm also a small human, so I don't think that really works out.
Yeah.
I
Then
think the mass equation there.
then I get no
Yeah.
Either
props on
way,
my
I'm a
phone. He's
weenie.
trying to spend too much money. So
Yeah.
I actually I was thinking about getting like piecemealing it and then actually doing the do you guys still do the MWS conversions for the barrels?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so that's specific. So getting like figuring out whatever barrel because I was like, oh, I'm gonna do 6.5 Creedmoor, and then I was like, no, I guess I'm not gonna do that. But although that thing has so much recoil, it's so unpleasant.
Really?
As an SR25, I've shot other SR25s, and mine is way
Okay.
spicier, and it's very
Um,
unpleasant.
that's I feel
Hmm.
like a lot of people say that,
Yeah.
and I don't necessarily understand if it's a gun that actually recoils a lot or it's a shooter having maybe less than ideal recoil management.
Huh,
I mean, yeah, I
interesting.
mean, I've had the similar impulse though from like other like in any position I've had, and then
Yeah.
similar other guns off a bench, freehand. Like I just shot. We now, granted, this isn't an actual SR-20, but with other LMT MWSs, mine is
Yeah.
still has more recoil. So I
Interesting.
got it secondhand though. So that
Maybe somebody wallered out the gas.
I was
Oh, wallet her out.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
full
Yeah,
full
I
send
that
gas.
wasn't. Let me preface that. Or sorry, I guess retroactively amend this, but that was not a sweeping indictment for LMT
Yeah.
SR-25 patterns. I meant my gun is a little spicy, and I know Black River Tactical I think has one of their restricted gas tubes.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I was
Huh.
thinking about playing with that, but I haven't decided if I'm doing anything else to it, and I can't commit. That's my biggest problem, is I can't commit to a
Well,
gun.
one thing you can do that is free is take out your factory LMT gas tube, flip it upside down, drill whatever size hole you want in it, and it'll do the same thing as a BRT.
Ooh,
Since
that's
it's a
actually
straight tube, you can do that.
wow. That's actually a pretty good idea.
That's a really
Thank you,
huh,
Dave. That's good.
So bright they called me son.
god
Wow, wow. Dave just giving out
I
free
hate that
knowledge. Look at
so
that.
much.
I would say I have a I've talked to Clint over at BRT tons of times. But if you just want to try it out, drill like I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good size. Maybe start at like 60,000
Okay.
and work your way up. At 60,000, it probably won't cycle, but start there. Work your way up until it cycles and you're happy with it. You're not having reliability issues. And, for the cost of, spend a couple bucks on drill bits, not the end of the
No.
world.
Wow,
Damn, that's actually a fucking great idea.
that's solid advice.
I think I'm just gonna do that
Yeah.
because
I
I
mean,
would
why
much
not?
rather tinker. I like doing that. I
Yeah,
used to do test fire stuff for one of my other jobs, and that was my favorite thing was diagnosing the guns that didn't work. I'm like, I get to play with this.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say
Yay!
that's
Well,
gotta
and
be
two,
the
you can kind of, in that regard, tailor it to the ammunition you're using or the suppressor you're using. Um, I've seen some people, they put a relatively high back pressure can
Mm.
on an LMT or any large frame gasser. Like, hey, this thing doesn't cycle or it cycles very violently. Like, okay, well, let's figure out a way we can choke off the gas a little bit and make it work with what you got.
Yeah.
yeah.
Damn, that's a really good idea.
That's the
I'm
best
really excited now. I have
Occamfrazor
a
I've
project.
heard today.
Yeah, um, get on McMaster Car or whomever. I mean, heck, you can even get drill bits on Amazon these days.
Yeah,
Um, figure out a few sizes, to step it up gradually and try it. See what happens.
magical. Yeah, because I like that barrel. It's okay. It's
So
barely over a
now
minute, but I think that's
that's
because I'm
that's
barely over a minute.
that's Bryce's new project you
I'm
gave him
so
there.
excited now because
You
that
know,
gun's been in the corner for a while.
I will say a very good
Right,
way to shoot groups with a
oh,
gasser
right there.
is have you ever heard of a bobsled in like an AR mag?
You mean like the cradle thing?
Nope.
Oh, the
It's
no.
so
Yeah, man.
think of like a single shot AR-10 magazine. So it's like the solid block of plastic you put in the
Yeah, you
gun,
just drop the round in.
and you just drop the round in through the ejection port, close the bolt, shoot it. Um, that I feel like can actually help you shoot pretty good groups because you're not worried about the gun doubling, and it's a little more forgiving on poor trigger follow through.
Huh.
Interesting.
And
Huh.
there's some companies that have done studies on, um, I I don't want to say accuracy issues, but a shift in accuracy based on which side of the magazine the bullet is being loaded from.
Oh, wow, that's interesting
Do they
too.
also say that I wanna say I've heard that said about metal versus polymer magazines as well. I think we talked to Kirk from other companies about that. I don't remember if he's public
Yeah.
about that, but
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I've ever heard it equated that far to
okay.
metal versus polymer, but, I wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's an
so single
interesting
feed off like a single shot mag
yeah.
and, just, there's a couple weird trigger pull techniques that I use, but, I've gotten some pretty good groups out of gassers.
Hmm. Well, so do you do anything with bolt guns at all?
Um, so I'm starting to dabble in that, I'll say,
Oh,
as
okay.
just a
Oh.
personal curiosity of mine. Um,
To what
trying to think
degree?
what I've done lately. So I decided, when was it? Like last spring, I really wanted an AI. So finally found one through Mile High Shooting Accessories. That's, thankfully like 20 minutes from my shop.
That's awesome.
So I went, bought an AI, and I was like, man, by the time you put a suppressor on this thing, it's like
Yeah.
6 feet long.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like I'm a pretty big guy. I'm like 6'3",
I am
real
not.
lanky, got a big wingspan, but to me, it's just really unwieldy. So I was like, you know what?
That's saying
I'm
something.
gonna see if I can buy a bargain bin barrel blank and make this thing shoot.
Okay.
So I made factory barrels, 24-inch, and it's, I don't a heavier contour. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know that it's quite like, I don't know. I'm not very very smart about bolt gun contours, but like a heavy varmint
Yeah.
profile, I would call it.
Yeah.
Um, so I was like, I'm gonna make a much shorter barrel. So the barrel I made is 6 inches shorter, but 2 pounds heavier.
Oh.
And
Oh,
Okay.
it's like, I
the
think
thickness.
at the muzzle, it's like an inch in diameter.
Jesus.
So it balances exactly like I want it to, right in front of the magwell.
There's no weights
So
on this gun.
yeah, so you can, I have this, I think it's like a coal tack bag
Mm.
velcros to the rail right in front of the magwell. You can take it, sit it right on a post. You can set it on top of a tripod, like a tack table, and it just balances perfectly.
Yeah.
So I
Nice.
was like, you know what? I'm trying to remember what kind of barrel blank I used. Maybe like a Green Mountain. And
Okay.
I feel like Green Mountain, they kinda get a lot of crap because it's not a Bartlett or a Krieger or anything like that. But I've had excellent luck shooting them. So it's $100 barrel blank that I have in
That's
my
why they get
AI,
crap though, right there.
and
Huh.
the thing shoots like a laser.
But the people are price tag blind both ways, and it's silly
Yeah,
sometimes.
and it's crazy, like,
Yeah.
at one point, like, Knights was using Green Mountain barrel blanks.
Mhm.
They've been
I
in business forever,
they're
and I
OE
don't
for,
know
like,
that.
a bunch of people, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
think they
Interesting.
were actually just bought by Thompson Center, I think?
Oh, okay. Well, they're owned by Smith& and Wesson?
I'm not sure. But yeah, I feel like, it was announced, maybe towards the end of the summer that, they were bought.
Okay. Well,
But yeah,
either way,
I
I mean
I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna chamber this thing myself. I'm gonna contour it, and, that thing shoots amazing."
Nice.
Like, for a $100 barrel, you know, if you don't count my time,
or
but,
the Accuracy
like
International behind the barrel. The rest of the fucking
yeah,
gun.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
No,
don't
it's a
count
really
don't
cheap project.
don't count the rest of the gun, just count the
Don't
barrel, yeah.
well,
anything else.
don't count, the rest of the gun, or,
Nope,
the machines we made it on,
don't do
or,
that.
Nah, none of those.
The cumulative knowledge that it took.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
no one cares about the knowledge.
Yeah,
That's
But
it's not
crazy.
worth
it's
anything.
I feel like it's kind of, humorous to me that, I have this $100 barrel in my gun, like, I don't even wanna add up how much that gun costs by the time it's all said and done with optics and bullshit on it.
Yeah.
You're like, "This is freaking sweet." Like, I chuckle like a little kid every time I shoot it and, like, outshoot somebody with their Bartlett.
I was
I
gonna
think that's
say,
sick. I
dude,
think that's awesome.
that's hilarious. Like you're out shooting them. You're
Real
like, oh my
not
god, what
fly.
kind of barrel was that? You're like,
Yeah.
huh, funny you should ask.
It's literally the most economical barrel blank I could find.
Hmm,
Right
that's
on.
interesting.
So, we're
Now
starting to play around with that and, you know, experimenting with other barrel blanks just to see if there's any, like, objective difference between the 2 and how they shoot. So, kind of a
well, so
curiosity. So, yes, getting into bolt guns a little bit.
okay.
Um, you know, seeing what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, so in terms of just the gun versus a gas, because you're obviously you seem to like gas guns just a little bit.
Yeah,
So,
a little bit.
do you see just off on a very surface level any benefits just in mechanical accuracy or just anything over the other than more bullets and more modern and some other stuff?
Um, I think if you, um, put a gasser up against a bolt gun, um, all things the same, they would shoot just as accurately.
Okay.
Interesting.
And all things the same, mainly being like barrel length and contour.
Okay.
Interesting.
So I think that if you were to match the contour of a typical bolt action in a gasser, you would likely get just as much accuracy.
Interesting. That is a
Huh.
bold claim. I think
It's
traditional
just
knowledge.
Is that
it's just
something you're gonna
just a
experiment
theory.
with?
Yeah.
Think of
You should.
how small in diameter a gasser barrel generally is.
Mhm.
And then,
That's a fair point.
a
Yeah.
bolt gun with, what a M24
Yeah.
MTU contour. I mean, they're pretty stout.
Yeah. That's a fair point. I guess because you have so many more components behind the rest of the gun, like
Yeah.
one necessitates maybe a lighter barrel,
Yeah.
but at
Uh,
what cost, I suppose? Well, actually at that cost
you,
specifically. But
you should experiment with that. That'd be interesting to see.
well, I mean, we've seen shows like Nine Hole Reviews. They do the mechanical accuracy and they'll show the practical accuracy. And I mean, I do agree. I would think that makes sense. I mean, the mechanical past the mechanical accuracy, if the practical accuracy of you running the gun, and now granted, I mean, I'm not talking about like target rich like movie environment, but like actually mechanically able to efficiently run a gun, like
Hmm.
it's I don't know, it's interesting. It's an interesting what's the point past I mean, now, I guess bench rest shooters would probably disagree, but I
Well,
mean
bolt
Well,
guns are
but
cool,
but
so
keep in mind the amount of um what do I want to say? The amount of effort a bench rest shooter puts into shooting and loading ammunition.
mhm,
Like
mm.
you're not spending 4 hours measuring out powder for 100 rounds and then shooting it out of a casser.
That's fair.
that's fair.
You're like, oh, I just spent 10 hours loading these 100 rounds, and now I'm gonna go shoot them in 2 minutes.
Mm,
Yeah. I mean,
I am
yeah.
sure if you put a reasonable level of effort into loading ammunition too, that would be another factor. Um, there's I don't think there's any reason a gasser shouldn't shoot as well as Volcano.
so why do you think they're so popular or they're not as popular in more of a competition circuit?
Mm,
'Cause I think that's, like, one of the least popular division now, I mean, obviously, PRS is kind of its own thing,
Animal.
but
Yeah.
can you run gassers in NRL? I don't even know.
I think you can.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, I think you might have a hard time making weight,
That is a fair point.
That's where they get
That is
you.
but,
a there it is. There's the problem.
I think I built a sub 12-pound LMT a while ago with a
Ho
can and bipod.
How?
Wow. In, like, a big
Um,
boy caliber?
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it was 6'5".
Alright. Oh, well, okay. Alright.
So what did I do? The big things
What did
were
you
I
do?
put a proof barrel in it.
Well, that
Use some super lightweight titanium suppressor.
Mhm.
Cut a lot of extra material out of the rail,
as you're known to do.
and I put a titanium carrier in it instead of the steel one.
Interesting.
And I have to imagine this was gas checked to hell to not explode your bolt.
Yeah, I would say that is one of the few instances where I personally would use an adjustable gas block, just because
Okay.
the titanium carrier was probably, I don't know, 8 ounces lighter than
Yeah.
a factory carrier. I mean, the weight difference was just insane. Um, so if you didn't use an adjustable gas block, it would just be slamming that thing around
Yeah.
just because the weight difference. I mean, simple physics.
Have you played with any, like, those, like,
Interesting.
uber lightweight aluminum carriers for the Air-15s? They're, like, 300
No,
rounders or
I've
something.
seen them. I know
Yeah.
years ago I was gonna try and make like a super lightweight AR, but I didn't ever do it. But like an aluminum carrier, I get why they exist.
Yeah.
I don't know that they are durable enough that I would want to put one in one of my own guns.
Hmm.
I yeah, I think they're more for, like, very specific competition use. Or
Yeah, like
I'd hope so. Or a
um,
meme gun. That'd be a fun meme
probably
gun.
probably more so a meme gun. Like if you want something that's gonna be reliable, like that's his like
If you if you could get one to run in full auto, but, like, just as quickly as you like, just to outrun magazine springs, that would be
Oh,
incredible.
I'm sure it would probably be pretty easy to do that.
That'd be sick. That'd be really cool. I used to when I wanted to make adjustable gas blocks at my old my old job, I would, drill out and tap the gas blocks, but for the same thread pitch that the Magpul trigger guard grub screws used, because we had a
Yeah.
shitload of those laying around. So I was like, "All right, well, drill and tap it," and I had just a little grub screw. I'd screw in and then screw out because
yeah.
sometimes parts were gay and wouldn't work or carriers weren't
And
like, it was a good time. But yeah, you're not a fan of adjustable gas blocks is what I'm definitely picking up
No,
on.
I sometimes I just have to bite my tongue when, folks call or they're like, "Hey, I wanna put an adjustable gas block on." And my first question is always, "Why?"
Yeah.
There is a crowd of people that they wanna fiddle fuck with things. They just wanna fine tune it for whatever ammo
oh,
they're shooting.
for those
No,
that know,
not that
Bryce
part. I don't
Bryce
wanna
was
do that. I just
Bryce
like
was
fiddle
raising
fucking.
his hand. Bryce was
Just
raising his
fiddle
hand
fucking.
for
And
those at home.
I'm of the mindset, like, I don't care how much it recoils, I just want it to go bang every time.
That is a fair point.
Like, I just wanna be able to put whatever dog shit ammo I scrounge off the floor of my truck in it and shoot it.
What about
That
for like
that's fair.
suppressors? Like if I had a gun and I want to suppress it, like
Nope, I still won't do that. I just wanna
interesting.
be able to put whatever suppressor on it. I don't know that I've ever encountered a gun that I put a suppressor on that, yeah, it'll cycle faster and it'll recoil harder, but, I mean, what do I care?
Yeah. Well, we were at Suppress Fest not too long ago. We went to a rifle speed booth and they had an adjustable. It's like a really quick, just turn it and forget it
Yep. Yeah,
system.
they seem to be growing in popularity,
And it
especially
was
because it's toolless.
Yeah.
yeah, and it was like basically night and day because they let us shoot like the 5 rounds, and then he turned it and he shot another 5 rounds. It was immediate like night and day difference. So you're like, oh wow, okay, well if
Yeah.
it's just a quick turn and forget,
Yeah.
That is a
that's
$200 turn and forget, sir.
yeah,
We
well,
went on their website. We know the
buy
prices.
once, buy once, cry twice, or
Yeah.
buy twice, cry once. I don't know.
I mean, I like that you can adjust it on the fly. I have not found a reason yet that have wanted to put an adjustable gas block on something. Besides, like that instance I mentioned with a titanium carrier, just a crazy difference in mass.
Right.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've ever built with an adjustable gas block.
Hmm.
Not that I can think of. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, how long did you run that titanium carrier?
I don't know. A while.
Yeah,
And then somebody just absolutely had to have the gun, so I sold it without the titanium carrier.
God
Like,
bless.
He
The
took out
American
the
way.
he took out the titanium carrier.
I'll keep
Here you
that.
go. Have a great day. Bye.
That's
yeah, I
funny.
forget. Like at the time, it was super hard to find them for whatever reason, and I
Yeah.
managed to, like, of a friend was knew somebody at H&M Metal Processing or something, and got one of those RCA Rubber City Armory titanium carriers, and it's stupid. You would think it was like made out of plastic when you pick it up.
That's
Jesus.
cool.
Like, is this even real? But yeah, yeah.
That's super sick. So, now, we mentioned with that was 6.5, you said?
Yep, that gun was 6.5.
Okay. So, have you
Uh,
played I know I've seen a video of you making a really cool 6 arc, carry handle rifle, which was fucking awesome. But have
Mm.
you been playing around with, 6 arc at all, like, on any capacity?
Yeah, I would say so. I've probably been shooting 6 arc for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years now.
Okay.
A real long time. I actually had a Knights SR-15. It was an LPR that I converted to 6 arc a long time ago. Um, and like I was just amazed at how much distance you could get out of it compared to a 5.56. The trajectory was just a lot better. Um, I think at the time, this was 20 tail end of 2020 going into 2021. I think at the time, not there were very few magazine manufacturers, so
Okay.
that
okay.
made 6 arc mags, or mags optimized for 6 arc. So I think that was a big stumbling block for a lot of people when it first came out.
Mm.
Was there was also something when it first came out, like don't quote me on this, but I think it was like Proof Research or someone made a batch of barrels with they mistakenly used the wrong twist rate. So there was all kinds of issues with that.
I knew there
So
was
that
ammo
and
accuracy stuff,
magazines.
yeah.
But if you look at the industry support for 6 arc versus like 224 Valkyrie, you had
Yeah.
barrel manufacturers behind it, you had ammo manufacturers behind it. So I think that's why it really caught on and was successful. Um, because what I forget who developed 224 Valkyrie. Was it Remington?
I thought it was Hornady.
No, it
I
wasn't
really
Hornady.
did.
It was either like Remington or yeah, I forget. But with Valkyrie, nobody made ammo was hard to find.
Mm.
No one was making dies.
Oh, I got it.
Um, So you're like, "How the heck do I even shoot this crap if
Who
I
made it?
can't find ammo, I can't find a barrel for it, I can't reload it?"
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I think 6
Yeah.
arc is awesome. Like, I
Yeah.
have a little 12-inch LMT Spec War that's in 6 arc, and that thing's
That's sick.
freaking awesome. Like, I
So
shoot that thing to 1,000 yards with a 1 to 8 on top, and, like,
okay.
I take it pig hunting, and
Oh,
that'll
okay.
that'll
Yeah.
fuck up the pigs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Well, so Kevin, who made 224?
Oh, it was Federal Premium Ammunition,
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
a
There you go.
subsidiary of a Czechoslovakian group.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jeeves. Uh,
The Google answered.
actually, bringing up federal, has anybody heard of the 7 mil backcountry?
Yeah.
Yeah, have you played around with that at all?
I
No, I haven't. I've heard of it. I would be curious to look at like the ballistics of that versus, say like 7 PRC or something like that.
Yeah. So the only reason I bring that up is because I know people have been, or initially when it got launched, there was like people going the chamber pressures are a little spicy, like and it didn't feel like it was developed as much. And I know Centurion Arms just dropped support of the 6 arc, and in like because they were saying there was like variances in the ammo. Who else loads for 6 arc other than like Hornady? Because I don't shoot it. I'm just curious.
I'm not sure to be honest. I usually shoot
I know
like
Black Hills
ELDM
just started.
or Hornady Black.
Okay.
I'll be curious to see what some of these companies that are starting to load with those NAS 3 cases, what they come up with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it'll be interesting. But yeah, I think I only shoot Hornady.
Okay. And so in terms of
As
accuracy,
snobby as
is
that
it
sounds, oh, I only shoot
no,
Hornady.
no, I mean,
Very
makes
particular.
sense.
The Hornady is the rifle caliber for me to
Have you
use.
have you done anything with like the 338s and the 22s yet?
Oh, no, not it. I mean,
The
I'm
other
I'm
arc,
a
sorry.
huge fan of 338 Lapua, but no, I haven't done
Right
anything
on.
with 338 Arc yet.
Sad 338 Federals noises. But okay, yeah, because I mean, or 22 arc just kind of felt like a really oddly placed 22 250. But I don't know. I
It
guess
could be. I mean, I haven't read much about that either.
yeah,
I don't really do much other than target shoot,
that's fair.
so I don't
I yeah,
know
I
that
feel
I
like a lot of these
understand like
calibers kind of do that.
why you would want
It's
22 versus 6 millimeter. I don't know.
So the only reason I asked about this, so you've had relatively good experiences because I know probably equal amount people that love 6 art that are actual shooters, by the way. Let me add that as a preface and not people like me who just read. But
you
equal
raid?
parts people that love it and people that don't. Because I mean, when it first came out, the biggest thing other than magazines I remember was bolts, because it's a standard AR bolt and you got to machine material away. And I know people bitch about that for the 7.62 ones, unless you're like a mutant or something, I guess.
Yeah.
But are you seeing any kind of parts breakages outside of normal shooting, I guess?
Hmm.
Um.
Because I imagine you're definitely shooting more than most.
Well, I mean, I would say I shoot a fair bit, but not as much as some people do.
Okay.
I feel like that is a concern that's echoed about breaking bolts and stuff like that. I don't think I've ever broken bolt
Okay.
ever. Even on like 5.56.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's higher pressure, and a lot of it has to do. I think it's probably more common to break a bolt if you have a short gas system on a higher pressure round like that.
Right.
The
Okay.
longer
Yeah.
you wait to unlock the bolt, like the longer the gas system is, the chamber pressure will drop, and there's not a as dramatic of unloading on the
Okay.
lugs.
Lugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mark
That's
18
okay.
suppressed like or have or have like eat through lugs, right?
I don't know.
I remember
I don't understand the desire for building Mark 18s. It doesn't make sense to me.
I video
but they're
games
cool.
probably.
But they're so
Are they?
cool.
Yeah, but
Are they
what's
cool?
cool about them? You're
That
like,
that is legitimately.
Call of Duty. They're in the Call of Duty, and Call of
That
Duty
is not a point
dictates
for it.
Call of Duty dictates gun
Isn't
fascination.
Nicki Minaj in Call of Duty too?
Yes.
from what I hear, folks want to build this Mark 18, but they're always worried about the longevity of the gun. Like, okay, well, with this short barrel and a suppressor, you know, you do realize that guns have a life expectancy.
Yes.
Like 20, whatever it is, 15, 20,000 rounds.
Right.
Just throw that fucker in the trash.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. I mean, you have to expect that you're going to have to replace some stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like expecting to buy a car, drive it, and never have to put tires on it.
That's a
Yes.
really good analogy.
Drive them bold. I love it.
That's a really good analogy. That's interesting. So,
Huh.
all right, more targeted then. So, is a quick aside. What parts breakages are you seeing most commonly on ARs then? On guns like that?
Um, I I don't know. Like, I don't I'm trying to think if I've ever really broken apart on any of my personal guns. Now, keep in mind, some of my guns only make it, like, 2 or 3 trips to the range before
There
I
it is.
change them into something else.
That was my next
Um,
question.
Hmm.
so,
How often are you rebuilding these things?
I mean, fairly often, I wanna try something different,
Yeah. Okay. There we
or
go.
I would
Nice.
say probably the gun I've shot the most and haven't reconfigured is that Shorty 6 arc.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
because it's fun, you're like, "Okay, we're gonna go." Like, it's fun being able to hit an IPSC at 1,000 yards with that thing.
Oh, I bet.
Wh-
I bet you
What
giggle every
what's
time
the
you do
setup
it
again?
too.
When you say short?
So so 12-inch,
Oh,
LMT Spec War
right. Okay.
with,
Yes. My fault.
a 6 arc barrel that I made for it.
Okay. So when we talk about the gun operating quicker, is 12.5 kind of generally as short as you want to make it, or is that just how it worked out?
I would say from a mechanical perspective, not necessarily. From being an ape of a human with very long arms and a
Okay.
prac
Fair.
from a practical standpoint, yes, that's probably about as short as I wanna go,
Huh.
Okay.
personally.
Interesting.
Just because, I don't like shooting these tiny little guns where, I'm all hunched up and,
Yeah.
you know, I I don't I live under no pretense that I'm a door kicker operator, Navy SEAL commando that, is gonna be doing CQV stuff. No.
Yeah.
I'm
Raiding
gonna
raiding the
I'm gonna
local
break out the
bodega.
338 and I'm gonna shoot some person from a mile away.
I don't want to be near you. Go away.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stranger danger.
So, there are certainly instances where shorter guns can absolutely be made to work, but the shorter and more compact they are, the more violently they're gonna need to operate, and they're gonna have a shorter life expectancy. I think from a practicality standpoint, 12.5, it's kind of a sweet spot. 12.5.
Hmm.
It's my
So,
favorite barrel
yeah.
length for assault rifles.
And, I think
AK
for me,
104.
like, when I take it hunting, you know,
Mhm.
pig hunting in
Yeah.
Texas is, I don't know that I'd really call that sportsmanlike hunting, but,
It's like pest
you're
control.
They're
you're
overpopulated. It's
in
fine.
and out of the truck all day. I tried it one time with like a 14.5 MWS,
Mm.
and I was like, "Man, I am whooped after lugging this thing around all day."
Yeah.
So then I built the Shorty 6 Arc, and I'm like, "This thing it's lighter, it's more compact, and it's, pretty effective out to 600 yards on game."
Okay. So I had talked to a guy that told me it was like shooting like like spicy 77s effectively, but like way more like effectively in terms of mass. But I mean,
I mean,
just
what?
imagine
Yeah, like
continue,
a
I'm
what?
sorry.
I was gonna say it, 105, like something like a tap 105
Yeah.
that's what, 40 grains more? I mean,
Yeah.
that's over 50% more mass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I meant in terms of like a recoil profile, not literally
Oh,
what the mass was delivered. I'm sorry. I
sure.
framed that poorly. But yeah,
Okay.
I mean, in terms of shootability, I mean, yeah, it's got more recoil, but it it seems like
But I would
what
say, going back to our adjustable gas block thing, I think it depends on who ported the barrel.
oh, that's fair, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, so are you turning your own barrels for
Yeah.
like the 6 arcs? Okay, so
Yeah.
what gas port are you running?
Oh, I don't even know. My brain is not large enough to remember all that. I would have to measure, to
Fair
be
enough.
honest.
Okay.
So typically when I make a barrel for myself, I'll get it contoured and everything. We'll drill an intentionally very small gas port
Hmm.
and set up the gun however we're gonna run it. I think on that thing I actually have an RC3, so it's relatively low back pressure. And I basically just open the port until it's cycled, and then maybe go one or two drill bit sizes larger, just for reliability. It's obviously going to cycle differently when it's super dirty or something like
Yeah.
that,
Hmm.
or a very
Okay.
drastic weather change.
Hmm.
Okay. So you just kind of start to get it to cycle, then you just do just a little more. Okay.
Yep.
I
So
gotcha.
basically, just test fire it in the shop with the bullet trap, until it'll lock back, and then depending on the gun and what you're using it for, you may go up another size or two just for reliability reasons.
I love it.
Where does that rifle fit in, or where does that caliber fit in when we talk about 5.56 6 arc to like large frame 308 SR 25 pattern?
I think it kind of interestingly bridges a good capability gap between the two.
Hmm.
Um, I like I said, I've used it on pigs, but not, I haven't done intense studies on the effects in like a warfighter scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mhm.
um, I could easily see like stretching it out further than say like Mark 12. And, you're saving a lot of weight over going to a large frame.
Mhm.
You
Okay.
know, fi- mm, even if you were generous and said like 5 or 6 pounds, I
Mhm.
mean, having to carry 5 or 6 pounds less just means
That's the
more
one.
more ammo, more whatever, more food
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can be out, doing stuff with.
Well, yeah, I mean, it takes you back to the I guess the argument people are having about the M7 now. It's like, you're carrying way less ammo and it's way heavier than
Oh,
carrying a comparable like
that
5.56 or
that gargantuan gun. Yeah.
yeah, whatever the 277 or the 6.851. I don't remember what the actual number is, but I think it's
Oh,
like the actual ammo is
277
like
Fury.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But that's back to the hybrid stuff. That'd be interesting out of the 6 arc. Like a hybrid loaded, that would be kind of nasty. Because I mean, I'm seeing what they're doing with like the 300 blackout stuff, and that's kind of cool.
You know, I
Interesting.
I I don't know that I really get it in 300 blackout.
Yeah.
Using hybrid cases. I have seen some very interesting things. There's this guy I follow on Instagram who is taking SIG hybrid cases. These are like the ones with the stainless rims,
Uh-huh.
and loading them to like 80,000 psi.
Okay.
And you know, I feel like he was getting 6 Creed to shoot at like 3,400 feet per second.
Oh man,
Jesus
you'll
Christ.
you'll get like
Like,
Screaming.
holy shit. So okay, here's we'll do a quick aside. So speaking of the bolt gun stuff earlier, I wanted to see so AI for whatever reason doesn't sell replacement bolts for their guns. At least this new ATXC. So I was like, okay, well if I leave it in 6.5, can I get comparable performance to a 6.5 PRC using hybrid cases?
oh,
And I have some
Interesting.
buddies that are, they're total ballistic nerds. There's this software called Quick Load where you can work up loads in like a desktop fashion and see how much pressure it's going to make, projected velocity, and all this other stuff. It's kind of like a reloading prediction software.
Nice.
Um, so you could get pretty close. You would be running it at like 80,000 PSI, which is maybe a little crazy. You got to be careful when you're hot rodding stuff that
can
much.
can you scale that for people that might not know what you're talking about in terms of?
So what? Normal chamber pressure on a 5.56 is like 52,
Yeah.
55,000 PSI. So this is what? 30, 40% more, which
Yeah, and like
is
308
which
is 60.
Yeah, normally, yeah, um so in the limitation on ARs is kind of because of the bolt and the
Okay.
lugs. So once you
Uh,
start getting up over, normal pressure, it drastically shortens the life of the bolt.
Okay.
Obviously you don't want the bolt to break, the gun to blow up in your face. Uh, Bolt guns, just by because of their design, the lugs are a lot bigger, a lot stronger. Typically, bolt gun pressures are usually up around 62,000 psi.
Okay.
Okay.
So to scale that up to, and some of the limitations are driven by the strength of the piece of brass. Um, so, when in reloading, people will start talking about like pressure signs and things like that. And that's
Uh-huh.
related to the piece of brass actually failing. So with hybrid cases, because they're made out of like stainless nickel alloys, or like on the SIG hybrid cases, they have a stainless base, but the body of
Yeah.
it is still brass. Because of that, you can load them to much higher pressures before that piece of brass will fail. So even in like, I just did a quick Google search, like 7 Backcountry uses a like a nickel alloy case, and you can get
Okay.
80,000 psi out of it.
Oh,
So
okay.
shooting that in a normal gun, very dangerous. Don't do it. Don't do it in
Okay,
an
so
AR.
maybe that's what I was
That's
hearing
that's the
initially.
that's the PSA here. Don't do that in a normal gun.
We have a
You know,
buddy that abhors that ammo.
yeah.
He's an
Don't
ammo
don't
nerd, though.
don't be loading stuff so your powder is compacted.
That
Follow
just
safe
Cram
create
reloading
It's like
guidelines.
the
that just
Pakistani
creates a
guys you
bomb.
see cramming the bullets and the powder, like, in the cases.
Yeah. So, it's interesting with I think that's probably like the next big evolution is as companies start to realize the value in these hybrid cases, and how that's going to be a big shift in how much pressure you can get out of a cartridge. Well, now you almost need to reverse engineer a gun that can support that.
Right.
Yeah, I
So,
agree.
is maybe that's where I mean, what do you do? Is it just mass on the bolt and then the locking surfaces and you just scale everything up?
It could be, in as the firearms industry gets smarter on machining some of these crazy alloys that are just stronger naturally, like I don't know, say like an Aeromet steel.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's very tough to machine, but
Mm.
and I don't know that the economies of scale are necessarily there yet. But
Mm.
if you have a stronger alloy, but the same, physical dimensions, you could get away with it. That's kind of an interim solution. But,
Mm.
I think back in the late 50s, early 60s when the AR was designed, I don't think anyone ever thought like, hey, let's put a cartridge in this that's 40% more pressure.
Right. Right. Well, so in terms of running, in scaling up ammo, like like you were saying with the 6 Creed and trying to pump that to like 6.5 PRC. So specifically with that, I mean, you said you're running what? It was 80,000?
Yeah.
Mm, I'd have to go back. I think we were trying to keep it under like 75,000 psi.
Okay, and
And this
that
was all theoretical. We never actually shot any of this. It was just
okay.
with the predictive software we were
So if
calculating
you're gonna
everything.
build the gun though, what components, if tomorrow you had to build that, something to support that build? Like, I mean, what receivers, what or actions, what are you basing that around?
Hmm.
I would never try this in a gasser. Um
Well, no.
I I would try it in an AI though,
Yeah,
just because, it is a very robust action and design. Um, would I take it the whole way up to 80,000? I don't know. I think I would have to have some pretty good safeguards in place.
yeah.
There's absolutely a lot of mass to certain bolt action barrels. So that would maybe make me feel a little bit better. But eh, I might put a little string around the trigger and hide behind a concrete wall.
First AI operated. I love it.
Make sure all
Oh, that's
your
funny.
insurance policies are up to date too before you
Yeah,
pull the
yeah,
trigger.
Yeah, so
yeah.
in no, I'm sorry, continue.
Oh, that was it.
Okay. Uh, are you running I mean, I guess you're running the AI. Is that with that, like, proprietary, like, mounting? stuff they have, like the angled key mod or something?
Oh, like the dick mod types and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I wish I could change it on one of my guns. Unfortunately, you can change out the handguard, kind of like an AR. A
Oh,
couple
okay.
bolts slides off. I put on an M-lock one just because
And
the
blocking's king.
key mod is, or whatever they call it, key slot. I think it
Key,
is.
s- key slot
Um,
or something.
like get with the program. Everyone uses everyone uses M-lock, and surprisingly, on some of their like LE guns that they only sell on the LE market,
Yeah.
have M-lock.
But
Ah,
oh,
crazy.
well, it's probably
Which is
contract driven though. That's probably
it
why.
could
They're like,
be,
"Hey, we don't want your stupid nonsense."
yeah. And with some of their guns, there are some aftermarket options to switch to M-lock. I'm trying to think like on a bolt gun, I don't know that I'm really putting that much stuff on it besides
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know, there's an Arca rail on the bottom, so I have an Arca bipod. Again, I'm not some crazy operator that I'm putting lasers and flashlights on my bolt gun and all that stuff. So it stays pretty simple for the most part.
That's
Nice.
fair. All right. Well, so out of after that comprehensive, wow, that's a word. Comprehensive
Comprehensive.
Comprehensive.
breakdown of your aspirations for theoretical bolt guns and stuff like that. What are services that you offer just kind of like off the top that like are your favorites? That is something that you enjoy doing?
Um, well, as crazy as it sounds, I personally don't really work in the shop very much anymore.
Fair enough.
Wow.
I imagine. Okay.
I broke your heart. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. I
Um,
understand how it works
Audible
to grow as a business. That's
gasp.
good.
An audible
um,
gasp, sir.
my favorite service.
So like modification because I like more. I guess like I mean more like what's kind of a cool thing that you liked that you made, or it was just kind of interesting. Because I like the
Um,
Arca, like the M-Lock Arca thing for the MWS
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
Like I
I
think
would
that's
say,
cool.
yeah, I would say that's probably it's not really well, it's not a service, but something we make is the
Yeah.
ARCA
Sorry.
adapters for LMT and Knights guns. Um, I don't know, like I can't believe no one else thought of that.
It is pretty brilliant.
And it all kind of started because like I wanted that for myself.
Yeah.
So I just made one.
And then
That's
other
And
people
awesome.
were like, wow, that's really cool. Where'd you
they're
get
like,
that?
other
I
people
made
other
it.
people were like, "Hey, what is that? What is that on your gun?" And of course, I the first prototypes I like had Cerakoted bright red. So people were like, "Hey, what's that red thing you
What
got
is
on your gun?
that?
What is that?" I was like, "Oh yeah, this is like a sweet Arca adapter I came up with." I was like, "Oh man, that's really cool." Like, you can still grip the gun normally, and it isn't as obstructive as like a big bolt-on plate on the bottom. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, exactly. That's why I made it."
Feel like
Um,
crazy. You
so
noticed
that's
that.
pretty cool. I mean, uh, we've actually sold quite a few of those, which I don't know, kind of makes me pumped. Like, oh, I had this idea, and it's fun that other people like it and want to put it on their gun. Um, Trying to think like what other I think like doing some of the barrel conversion stuff is pretty cool just
Yeah.
to I should say capitalize. I think I really like the modular nature of an LMT.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that you can um have your lower set up. You're not really going to change much on your lower, but take your upper and relatively quickly with you know basic tools, really change the capability of a gun.
Yeah.
Um, it would be or change the caliber, change the length of barrel. Um, can I don't know, kind of change the whole use case for a gun. You could go from a short 300 blackout, swap the barrel and bolt face and your magazines, put in a 6 arc barrel, and you've just taken that maybe 100, 200-yard gun and turned it
Mhm.
into a 1,000-yard gun.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Like, I don't know. I think that's pretty cool, and it's interesting to see, uh, just what people wanna do with it. Like,
Yeah.
what calibers they find interesting. Like, "Oh, well, I wanna try, I don't know, 6.5 Grendel," just because it's a curiosity. They just swap the barrel. With that, you have to swap the bolt too. Um, Try it out. Maybe you decide you don't like it. Well, then you don't have a whole gun, you don't have to build up a whole gun. You just,
Right.
swap a few
Right.
things. Uh,
Dabble.
I think it's an interesting capability. I think it's cool to be able to work with LMT really closely on that. And um, they're not going to make every single barrel configuration out there, and
Right.
different
Right.
things are important to different people. Some
Yeah.
people want one hole accuracy, some people want durability. Weight could be an issue to some people, so they can really just, we can help them change it to whatever they want.
Right. Well, are you because you guys are offering the 6.5 MW or MWS barrels as well?
Yeah. So I saw a need for that, or everyone and their brother wants a 14.5, 6.5.
Yes.
It's what all the cool kids have.
I think
Yes.
Bryce wants
Um,
one too.
Yes, he does.
so,
Yes, Bryce does.
years of working with LMT, I'd ask them like, "Hey, will you guys just make these for us?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I mean, you gotta order a lot of them, but we'll do it." Like, okay. So we struck up an agreement that they were willing to make the barrels for us, in a couple different configurations. So they're all stainless. They make them in 14.5 and 16 inches, for the people that don't want to worry about SBRs or pinning and welding.
Mhm.
And so we've done a bunch of standard weights already. And the ones that are coming that I personally think are going to be the best are a lightweight 14.5, 6.5.
Interesting.
So it
Do
should
you
be probably 8 to 10 ounces lighter than a
cool.
standard weight barrel. Still the same great performance of a 14.5, 6.5, just lighter.
I
Dang.
like that.
Me too. I do too.
I mean, I
I
think it's kind of cool that they are willing to do that for us.
Yeah.
I think that's something I'm kind of proud of. It's been I don't know, 7, 8 years of building rapport and a relationship with them, and that
I think that's
they're
really impressive.
willing to do stuff like that for us.
Yeah. So you were talking about all these kind of oddball caliber. What's like the oddest barrel change like to caliber you've had? Like what's the oddest like someone calls you up, they're like, "Hey, I want this in this caliber." You're like, "That's weird." But okay, we could do it, I guess.
Um, I don't know. That's a good question. Like, I don't trying to think of like what like very obscure oddball calibers are even out there
Yeah. Well,
for the
we
small
keep it
frame.
yeah, we'll keep it to gassers to narrow it down.
I don't
So
think it
what
works on
like
anything else.
what would you consider an odd caliber?
Uh,
6.8, 6.8, I don't know. 8.6,
SPC.
Well, so
8.6.
That's
like
not really that obscure though.
factory 6.8 barrels exist. They're
Yeah,
not very
it's
common. They don't make it very often, but they do.
Wilson makes
8.6
some, right?
blackout.
Um
There are some new calibers, Bryce. I don't know.
Oh, I have to. Oh,
Yeah,
I don't
some
know, 204 Ruger.
yeah, we've
But
done some of those.
yeah,
For
but
guys that want
didn't
to like varmint hunt.
yeah. Okay,
I'm not
that's
I'm
cool.
not sure what bolt face that uses, to be
I
honest, off
have
the
no
top of my
idea.
head.
Well, see,
But yeah, we've done them.
I think that's an attractive thing for bolt gun guys because I know there's whole YouTube channels where the guy has like basically one or two guns and all he does is change barrels and change calibers for, or like if you listen to the Hornady podcast, all they talk about is, oh, I built this other gun in like a half hour in, you realize he's rebuilt the same gun like 10 times, which I'm not saying is bad, by the way. I
Yeah.
do that. All of my ARs have been five other things
Yeah.
because I can't sit still and I can't commit. But
Well, just look at how, what LMT has done with quick change barrels
Yeah.
and how bolt guns are going down the same path with
Yep.
prefits.
Yes,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I know Rimage was, like, kind of groundbreaking for a while, and then we all realized that, like, yeah, it's cool to have a barrel nut. It's nice to be able to do things over or like, yourself too. That's
Yeah.
nice.
With
Yeah.
a simple barrel vise, you could easily swap a barrel on a bolt gun now.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely. It's still easier to do with an AR, though. I still think. I mean, even with the torque requirement on the barrel nut or for what is it, 110 inch pounds or whatever for the
for like a
the
bolt gun?
LMT? No, for the
Oh,
LMT. What is that?
140 inch pounds.
Okay, so other than that, like, do you
Huh.
recommend buying the actual torque wrench for that?
Um, I think it is good because typically
Good
Okay.
answer.
you're not supposed to use a torque wrench to loosen things.
Right.
So the LMT torque wrench is designed in a way that it will slip and not hurt itself, and not damage itself, if you loosen with it. I have one in my range bag just because, I'm almost ashamed to admit this, but I was at a class, like a run and gun class, shooting
Mhm.
my LMT piston gun. And I was like, man, I can't hit shit with this thing. Like, what the hell? This is like so bizarre. The freaking barrel was about falling out of the front of the damn thing. Because I
Interesting.
must have changed it, or one of the guys in the shop grabbed it and,
You should have
just didn't
gauged it
didn't
just to see
retorque
what
it
it was.
and, torqued it back up, and it was fine.
That's
So I
crazy.
just keep one in my rage bag. Yes, it is kind of a pricey tool with a very specific purpose, but you can use it. It's always going to be 140 inch pounds,
Fair
and
point.
you know, I don't, cheap insurance to me. But
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
but full disclosure, I also am an LMT distributor, and they are available on our website.
There it is. Yep.
Oh, you're an
Yeah.
LMT
Yeah.
Wow.
distributor.
If
Interesting.
he didn't say that, I would have tried to slip that in there. But
Hey,
yes,
Brace.
the dealer would enforce that. And where can they pick those items up at, sir?
Well, funny you should ask.
Well,
D.Wilson, MFG.com.
excellent. Are there other places the people can find you?
Yeah, I try to be fairly active on social media. And sometimes it's a double-edged sword. Everyone and their brother is sending you a message at all hours of the day.
Yeah, that's
We
fair.
we are pretty active on social media. A lot of people find us through Instagram, Reddit, Facebook. Um, Trying to think where else people find us. I don't know. Every once in a while,
Nice.
I make an appearance at like a shooting class. It's always funny, like, guys walk up to me like, "Oh, hey, you did that pin and weld on my gun." I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Cool.
Along with, like, 3,000 other ones this year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I remember yours, though.
Yes,
Uh,
specifically.
you know, I wish I could get out and shoot more and interact with customers. That's kinda one thing I'm trying to work on. Yeah, I feel like we're pretty easy to find,
Yeah,
but,
yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, what do you have coming up? Anything exciting to with the new year coming? Anything to look forward
um
to? Or
maybe some more LMT barrel projects. I know we
okay.
just got done doing a big batch of 6 arc barrels, so that were pretty cool.
Oh
So we
wow.
made
Okay,
we
that's
made
exciting.
some 6 arc barrels using factory barrel extensions, gas blocks, and gas tubes. So it's pretty cool. We didn't do barrel conversion on them or anything. They used all factory components. We just made the barrel blank.
That's pretty cool.
Put them all together. So that was pretty cool. Probably gonna do another batch of those maybe in Q1. Um, Trying to think what else.
You go on the SHOT Show this year?
Yeah, I'll probably make an appearance at SHOT Show. It's always interesting because I feel like I'm just like an average dude who like works on guns. And it always surprises me, and I always get a chuckle out of people like walk up to me like, "Oh my god, are you Dave Wilson?" Like,
Oh, I'm going to. I'm gonna make an
Yeah.
absolute
This
thing
is
to
our
do
this
it.
is our first
I'm
shot
just
show.
like a normal guy. Like,
As soon as I
Yeah,
see
but
him,
you
I'm gonna
you
I
have
yell
good
just come
across
to
the room.
ideas.
work.
I'm gonna say, "Oh my
I
god, are
work
you
on
Dave
God.
Wilson?"
Oh my god. Yeah, I'll be at Shot Show for a few days, poking around. I would say I more go to Shot Show to like see all my friends
Oh, that's
than
nice.
to like look at gun stuff. As lame as that sounds.
No,
No,
You know,
that's
that's
half the
very
reason we're
wholesome.
going. We've made a lot of friends, and we're like, we really want to meet you
yeah, like
for
how often do you
IRL.
get to like see all your friends at the
How
same
many
time?
black Suburbans actually come and meet you? It's a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's having
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, speaking of friends, we have some
Uh-oh.
friends on the channel that Bryce
Ah,
forgot to
fuck,
mention
I
at the top of
forgot.
the
We said
episode
that
there.
right before I hit record, too.
Yeah,
Where
we
I was
did,
like,
and
hey,
he
we have to
immediately forgot.
immediately forgot. I'm so sorry. Okay, well,
So,
the first one is to my beautiful wife who set this up. Thank you so much, Hannah.
Hannah, thanks
And
you.
then our our discount codes, which I also whiffed the ball completely. So Hammy 3D prints for all of your 3D printing firearm hanging storage accessory needs. The carry handle 10 and literally every permeation you can think of, because I am
Yep.
incapable of remembering a discount code to save my fucking life. Now on to the next discount. Eastern Shore Sling Company. Just carry handle.
There
I
it
got
is.
it. And then 19 Charlie Tactical. The carry handle. I got it. Yep.
I don't know
I
that
did a
one off
thing.
the top of my head.
Fuck. Well, Mike hasn't corrected me yet, so I know he listened to at least one of these.
Maybe they're just changing the permutations as you're saying them.
Seriously typing. This fucking idiot can't figure out. Oh, all right. Well, thank you so much, Dave, for coming on. I mean, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure being able to talk to you. It's been
Yeah,
really
not a
has.
problem at all.
stellar.
It's great chatting with you guys. I mean, it's I don't know. I feel like I go home and the old lady's like, I don't want to hear about dumb gun shit. So it's
Well,
always fun to chat.
come chat to us. We'll always
What
be
we're
here
working
for you.
on, different things with calibers and what people are interested in or what I'm seeing. I don't know. It's fun.
We're
I enjoyed it.
interested.
Well, we're happy, and we'll definitely try to get you back on the show because we definitely love having you on. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know. Happy to chat.
thank you, sir.
Right
All
on.
right. Well, I am gonna roll the outro because I know how to do that. I'm very capable.
Hit it.
Oh,
The
nope.
outro.
I
The
selected
outro.
away from it.
Do the
here it is.
outro.
Okay.
Do the outro.
Hey,
Do the
you made
outro.
it to the end of the video. Very cool. You should like and subscribe.
On Facebook and Instagram.
And Twitter and Spotify. You should listen there too. If you
Aren't they
heard this on
listening to
Spotify.
this on Spotify right now?
Well, they could be, but there's also YouTube podcasts. So, all of the places.
We always forget where we post this stuff.
We don't know where this is. Thank you for listening wherever you're listening to, but you should also like the other places that we are. And
Who
then
are we and what the hell are we doing here?
yeah, I don't know how we got here. So thank you for letting us talk directly into your ear holes.
Right to the brain.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Adios.